Good evening. Thank you for clicking on this video. I just wanted to show off real quick my first edition base set shadowless Pokemon cards. I have been collecting since 1998, since I was 8 years old. And so far, this is what I have managed to collect. I have all 3 starter Pokemon, first edition shadowless, and their evolved form. However, I do not have the final evolution first edition cards, as you are keenly aware of how expensive they are. Maybe down the road I might get one, but right now I don't see myself getting those, since those are thousands of dollars. So far I have this. Moving on to the next page, I did place these in the numerical order that they are listed on the Pokédex. We're going to continue there. First edition Pidgeot right there. You notice the shadowless mark right there. So kind of just move on here. Right here, got all 3 Pikachus. Got the red cheeks and the yellow cheeks Pikachu, both first edition shadowless, which are worth quite a bit of money. And I have the jungle edition of Pikachu. I have yet to, actually I need to get the fossilized holographic Raichu. And right here, I have a shadowless Raichu, but not first edition. So that is on the bucket list. Also need to get Nidoqueen first edition. Here is the full evolution of Nidoran, Nidorino, and Nidoking. I do have this in first edition. You saw Raichu up here. First edition Clefairy, which comes off the original base set. We have first edition Ninetales, which also comes off the original base set. Got Wigglytuff. Golbat, Gloom. Gotta get Vileplume first edition. It's not yet completed, but I will get there. Missing a Venomoth. I will need to get that. Here is a Dugtrio. Now, if you were to open a first edition shadowless pack, which they go for thousands, you notice this star right there. This is considered one of the rare cards. So right there, got Persian. Moving on down. Here's one of my favorites. Right here, the first edition Arcanine. This page, I have completed the full evolution of Poliwag, Poliwhirl, and Poliwrath. That is a shadowless first edition. Then I got Abracadabra and Alakazam. And then Machop, Machoke, and Machamp. Moving on over to the Jungle series, we got Bellsprout, Weepinbell, Victreebel. Moving on down. All right, I got this first edition Magneton from the Fossil. I'm still hoping to save up enough money to get the first edition shadowless set of Magneton. Still working on that. Continue here with the first editions. Now you'll notice there's 2 different Haunters. This is the first edition shadowless Haunter. And the second Haunter is the Fossil Haunter, which is a holographic card. Let's see if I can get there you go, kind of, sort of see that. Then we got first edition Gengar. There are different electrodes. So we have the first edition shadowless electrode, the first edition jungle non-holographic electrode, and then the first edition holographic jungle electrode. So there are 3 different first editions electrodes, and I have them all. All right, let's moving on down here. Got first edition's Hitmonlee, holographic, and first edition Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan, as you know, comes from the first edition base set. Moving on down. I am missing a Rhyhorn. I am aware of that. Gotta get that. First edition Chansey, which also comes from the base set. There's Kangaskhan. Here's Staryu. And here's Starmie. Really original cards. One of my favorites from the base set. Gotta get a first edition Scyther. There's first edition Electabuzz. Electabuzz is a rare, as you can see with the star there. Kind of like the Dugtrio, but it's non-holographic. Here's Magmar. As you know, there are two different sets, the fossil and the base set. Also, I would like to point out a real fast difference between the first edition base sets. If you notice that HP, how that's written in text, and say we move on over here, notice how that's a little bit more bold text. The first edition print, that's how it looks like. It's a little bit more skinnier. So one way to tell also that your card is a first edition set from the original base set. So there's the fossil Magmar, then there's the base set. Pinsir, I got this card because it's missing that jungle mark. So it's an error. I don't believe I have this first edition Pinsir yet. Moving on up. Here we got Tauros, Magikarp, and Gyarados. Gyarados is one of the rare cards you could get from the base set. You got Lapras, Ditto, Eevee. Do have a first edition Jolteon. What am I missing here? Okay, we got Flareon. I got to get a holographic Flareon. But I do have the first edition Vaporeon. So we're just missing the Flareon holographic to complete that set. Moving on, we're going to the fossil Pokemon. Here, you got Kabuto, Aerodactyl, Kabutops rather, Aerodactyl. Got Snorlax, Articuno. Now with Zapdos, there are two different versions. Obviously, the first edition base set Zapdos, right? And then the fossil Zapdos. So I got all legendary birds, first edition. I think we'll zoom in real quick here on Articuno. So I got all of the three legendary birds. Personally, these are my favorite here. They're Dratini, Dragonair, and Dragonite, with Dragonite being my favorite Pokemon. It's one of my favorites there. I don't have Mewtwo just quite yet for the first editions. They are really expensive. But so far, that's what I have for the set. I'm missing a few. I got most of the fossil and jungle completed, most of it. There are just a few cards. Obviously, the big three. Blastoise, Venusaur, and Charizard. Got to work on. Here's some other cards I've collected over the years that are worth some coins. And to be fair, some of these are my brother's cards that I bought from him years back. I do have a Gold Star Charizard, one of the most valuable cards I have in here. Then a first edition holographic Dark Charizard. This is in very mint condition. I could have it graded. I'm a little nervous to mail that out, though. We got 3 base set Charizards. Moving on, I actually have the entire set of first edition Shadowless energies and trainers. So let's go through these real quick. So you can see the first edition stamp right there on the top of these energy cards. Moving on down. Now on the trainer, they put the first edition stamp on the bottom. So here's Bill, Professor Oak. We got some of these other trainers. Now, if you notice here, they considered this one, the Computer Search, a really rare card, considering the star down there. So if you bought a very expensive pack and you end up pulling one of these, it's kind of a bummer. But nevertheless, it is a rare card. And we have this all first edition Pokedex. Here's some more trainers. There's last Pokemon Breeder. It's just moving on down. Here's Imposter Oak, which is, I believe, yeah, another rare card. And also the Pokemon Trader. Oh, and we got a couple more here I missed. We got Last is also one of those rares, and as well as the Pokemon Breeder. Over here we got the Clefairy Doll, the Gust of Wind, Energy Removal. The Clefairy Doll is one of those rares. Then we move on to like the fossil side of things, first editions. Right there, De-Evolution Spray and Scoop Up. Then we got the Switch. Then here we are, just more miscellaneous trainers and other miscellaneous cards. I'll just kind of stop right there. I do have a first edition Dark Dragonite. Anyway, guys, this is my first edition collection. Collected over, what, 20 plus years of this. I will still continue. I've slowed down quite a bit since inflation's pretty bad out there and costs are getting pretty hard. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit that subscribe button. On this channel, you'll see either card collections, smoky meat collections, another hobby. Another thing I do is I like to chase tornadoes. So yeah, just hit that subscribe button, help me out, and spread the word that we do have still people who collect these things. All right, thank you guys and have a great night.